So, for the past couple of years, we've gotten pretty used to AI that can write, chat, and, brainstorm ideas with us. But that's just the beginning. Today, we are diving into the next huge leap. AI that doesn't just talk, it actually takes action. We're moving from just using tools to building teammates.
I mean, we've all been there with the chatbots, right? You ask a question, it gives you an answer, you copy it, you paste it somewhere else, and you close the tab. But what if the AI didn't stop there? What if it could take that answer and actually do something with it? What if it could, close the loop all by itself? That's the game-changing idea we're going to unpack today. To really get where we're headed, we need to understand where we're kind of stuck right now. We're surrounded by automation, but let's be honest, a lot of it is, well, it's rigid. It feels like we've hit this automation ceiling. These simple, step-by-step workflows are great, but they completely fall apart the second things get messy. And things always get messy. Okay, take a look at this. This is a classic example of that one-way street I'm talking about. You pop some data into a Google Sheet, and AI whips up a blog post, and boom, it gets published to WordPress. Super efficient, for sure. But it's also incredibly brittle. It's just a straight line from A to B to C with absolutely no room for error.
Exactly. The real world isn't a straight line, is it? So what happens when your website suddenly goes down? Or the AI's writing sounds, well, nothing like your brand? What if your biggest competitor just slashed their prices by 30%? Your neat little workflow just shatters into a million pieces. You don't need a robot that just follows orders. You need one that can actually think on its feet.
And this is where things get really, really interesting. Welcome to what's being called the agentic leap. We're not just talking about slightly better automation here. Oh no, we're talking about a fundamentally new way of working with computers. So let's meet the AI agent. Now, this is a super important distinction to make. An AI agent isn't just another version of GPT-4. It's more like a conductor for the whole AI orchestra. Think of it as an orchestration layer. It takes a powerful AI brain, like Claude, and gives it a body, a way to actually interact with the world. It can browse the web, send emails, even write and run code. It's the bridge between thinking and doing. This right here, this is the mental shift we all need to make. You're not just clicking buttons in a piece of software anymore. You are delegating. You're handing off an entire task to a digital teammate that can remember context, make plans, and then execute on them. It's so much less like using a tool and way more like briefing a coworker. So how do you actually get one of these digital teammates on your team? What's probably not as complicated as you might think. It really just boils down to a few key steps to turn a piece of code into a full-fledged coworker. Let's break it down. It really comes down to three main steps. First, you set the agent up on its own secure private server. And trust me, we'll talk more about why that is so important in a bit. Second, you give it a brain. You just plug it into an AI model. And third, and this is the really cool part, you give it a soul, a personality, and you do it just by writing a simple text file. This quote just perfectly captures the magic of it. The agent's entire personality, its goals, its voice, the rules it follows, it all lives in this one single file. And every single time it boots up, it reads that file to remember who it's supposed to be. In a very real way, it literally reads itself into being. Okay, enough with the theory. Let's talk about what these agents can actually do. This is where the rubber meets the road. We're going to look at some incredible real-world examples that show just how powerful these digital teammates can be. I mean, the possibilities here are just mind-blowing. Imagine just texting your agent to build and launch a new website for you, or having an agent that watches your competitors' prices around the clock and pings you the second they change. We're talking about an agent that can sift through your entire inbox, pull out what's important, and even go find fresh data to enrich your sales leads. And that is just scratching the surface. And look, this isn't just about cool new features. It's about a real, measurable impact. We're seeing teams save 15, even 20 hours of tedious grunt work every single week. That's like getting a part-time employee for a tiny fraction of the cost. I mean, just think about what you could do with all that extra time. And it's not just giant companies doing this. Take Clairvaux, for example. She's built a whole team of 9 different agents to help run her businesses and even manage her family's schedule. This is the future we're heading towards, Not just one single AI assistant, but a whole specialized team of agents working together for you. Okay, so before you run off and start building your own army of AI agents, let's hit pause and talk about the reality of it all. This stuff is incredibly powerful, but it is not magic. There are costs and, even more importantly, some serious responsibilities that come along with it.
So let's talk numbers. What does it actually cost to have an AI teammate? Well, the software itself is free and open source, which is amazing. But you do have to pay for a server to run it on and for the AI's thinking time, which we measure in tokens. For a small business, you could be looking at as little as, say, $25 a month. But if you're doing some really heavy-duty automation, yeah, that could go up to a couple hundred. Still, when you think about the hours you're saving, it's a pretty incredible bargain.
Now, listen up, because this is probably the most important thing you'll hear today. Never, ever, ever run an AI agent on your personal or work computer. I'm going to say that again. Never run it on your main computer. An agent has the power to control your machine, and you do not want it to have access to your personal files or your passwords. It's like giving a complete stranger the keys to your entire digital life. Just don't do it. And finally, just remember that an AI agent is not a set-it-and-forget-it solution. It needs your attention. You have to be the one to approve its work before it goes out into the world. You need to be ready to fix things when they break, because they will break. And you need to keep an eye on its performance to make sure it's staying on track. Think of it less like a machine and more like a brand new employee who needs your guidance and support to do their best work.
So, what's the bottom line here? We are standing right on the edge of a new era. We're moving beyond just using AI tools to actually building and managing our own AI teams. These agents are the first wave of this revolution. These digital teammates that can take on all the grunt work and free us up to be more creative, more strategic. So the only real question left is, who will you hire first?